The year was 1939. The Nazis were tightening their grip on power. Among those desperately seeking refuge was a young boy named Richard Jarecki. Born in Germany to a wealthy Jewish family, Jarecki's life was about to be upended. As the Nazi regime rose to power, his family was forced to flee their homeland. They embarked on a perilous journey, escaping persecution. The experience left an indelible mark on young Jarecki, shaping his worldview. The Jarecki family eventually found safe haven in the United States. Jarecki, a bright and inquisitive child, quickly adapted to his new surroundings. Little did he know that his journey would lead him to become one of the most successful gamblers in history. After graduating high school, Jarecki pursued a career in medicine at the University of California, Berkeley. He excelled in his studies, but fate had other plans. Jarecki found himself increasingly drawn to the allure of risk and the possibility of beating the odds. His interest in gambling began innocently enough, with casual games among friends. But it wasn't long before Jarecki realized he possessed an uncanny ability to win. This realization sparked a burning desire to test his skills against the ultimate adversary, the casino. Jarecki was particularly drawn to the game of roulette. He saw beyond the illusion of chance, recognizing that even the most carefully designed systems could be flawed. Driven by this belief, Jarecki began spending countless hours at the roulette tables, meticulously studying the behavior of the wheel and the ball. His friends and family watched with a mixture of amusement and concern as Jarecki's obsession with roulette grew. Jarecki's meticulous observations began to yield intriguing results. He noticed that certain roulette wheels displayed subtle biases. These biases, often caused by imperfections in the wheel's construction, resulted in some numbers appearing more frequently than others. He realized that these biases could be exploited to gain a statistical advantage. Armed with this knowledge, Jarecki developed a system that would become his trademark. He would spend days observing a particular roulette wheel, meticulously recording the results of every spin. He analyzed the data, looking for patterns and deviations from the expected probabilities. This wasn't guesswork, it was a meticulous scientific process. His system wasn't foolproof, but Jarecki was confident that in the long run, his statistical advantage would prevail. As Jarecki honed his system, he prepared to put his theories to the test in the sophisticated gambling halls of Europe. Jarecki's system was a calculated approach that relied on patience, observation, and a deep understanding of probability. He would start by observing a roulette wheel for hours, meticulously recording the outcome of each spin. He wasn't just watching the wheel, he was studying it, memorizing its every quirk and imperfection. Once Jarecki identified a biased wheel, he would start placing his bets, focusing on the numbers or sections of the wheel that his analysis had shown to be more likely to win. He understood the importance of patience and discipline. Jarecki's system wasn't about making a quick fortune, it was about grinding out consistent wins over the long term. He knew that by sticking to his system he could overcome downswings and come out ahead in the end. Jarecki's first target was the Casino della Valle in Italy. The casino, known for its elegance and high-stakes games, attracted a wealthy and unsuspecting clientele. His system worked flawlessly. Jarecki's meticulous observations and statistical analysis allowed him to predict winning numbers with uncanny accuracy. His winnings began to mount slowly but surely. Word of Jarecki's extraordinary winning streak spread like wildfire through the gambling circuits of Europe. Casinos, once considered impenetrable fortresses of chance, were suddenly vulnerable to this enigmatic gambler. His success sent shockwaves through the gambling world, forcing casinos to reevaluate their security measures. As Jarecki's winnings grew, so did the casino's suspicions. They couldn't fathom how this unassuming man could consistently beat the odds. Accusations of cheating flew, but Jarecki was always one step ahead. He never tampered with the wheels, his edge was purely mathematical. Despite the lack of evidence, casinos were desperate to stop Jarecki's winning streak. He was banned from one casino after another, his face plastered on security walls across Europe. But Jarecki, ever resourceful, found ways to circumvent these bans. He used disguises, employed aliases, and even sent associates to place bets on his behalf. The casinos resorted to increasingly drastic measures, changing the roulette wheels frequently and rotating dealers. Jarecki adapted to every change, turning the casino's efforts to stop him into opportunities to further exploit the game. The casino's attempts to outmaneuver Jarecki only fueled his determination. He saw it as an intellectual battle, a game of wits with the highest of stakes. Jarecki responded to each new countermeasure with ingenious adaptations of his own. He hired a team of assistants to help him gather data and analyze patterns. When casinos changed the wheels, Jarecki's team would be there, diligently recording spins and analyzing the new biases. His persistence paid off. Despite the casino's best efforts, Jarecki continued to win, proving that his system was robust enough to withstand even the most determined countermeasures. His victories became even sweeter, knowing that he was outsmarting some of the most sophisticated gambling institutions in the world. While roulette remained Jarecki's first love, his sharp intellect led him to explore other avenues. He saw opportunities beyond the green felt tables of casinos. Jarecki turned his attention to the world of commodities trading. He approached commodities trading with the same meticulousness and analytical rigor that he had applied to roulette. He studied market trends, analyzed historical data, and developed complex algorithms to predict price fluctuations. Jarecki wasn't afraid to take risks, but his risks were always calculated. His success in commodities trading mirrored his achievements in gambling. Jarecki made a fortune speculating on everything from gold and silver to soybeans and pork bellies. Despite his extraordinary success, Jarecki remained an enigma. He shunned the limelight, rarely giving interviews and fiercely guarding his privacy. Jarecki wasn't motivated by fame or fortune. He was driven by an insatiable curiosity. He lived a life of simple elegance, dividing his time between his homes in Europe and the United States. Jarecki was a devoted family man and a generous philanthropist. He believed in giving back to the community and using his wealth to make a positive impact on the world. Richard Jarecki's life story reads like a Hollywood screenplay. He became a legend in his own time, his name synonymous with both brilliance and controversy. Jarecki's impact on the world of gambling is undeniable. His exploits exposed the vulnerabilities of even the most carefully designed systems. His legacy extends beyond the roulette wheel. Jarecki's story serves as an inspiration to aspiring entrepreneurs and mathematicians. He demonstrated that with meticulous observation and rigorous analysis, it's possible to achieve extraordinary things. Jarecki's story reminds us that even in games of chance, knowledge is power. Richard Jarecki, the man who outsmarted casinos, passed away in 2018 at the age of 86. He lived a long and fulfilling life, leaving behind a legacy that continues to inspire. His death marked the end of an era. Jarecki's passing was met with tributes from both admirers and detractors. Some hailed him as a genius, a master strategist. Others viewed him as a controversial figure. Regardless of one's perspective, there's no denying that Jarecki was a force to be reckoned with. Richard Jarecki's story is a reminder that life is full of surprises, and that sometimes the greatest risks lead to the most extraordinary rewards.